Hey, what the fuck, man? Phone. Anyway, yeah, there's some. I just remembered there's some stuff I wanted to share, and I haven't had a chance to. I don't know how long this video is gonna be. There's another video idea that I want to do. I'm playing around with the idea of doing it, but I don't know if I want to do it. I want to do the video. Maybe I will, just because I want to. Anyways, dude, I found some shit out. I don't know how many. I don't know how many of you know this. Okay, I haven't really heard anybody talking about this that much, and really, the most of the shit that I've heard is contrary to what I heard. Okay, as far as like people covering it, right? This subject. So I was talking to this young guy. He's only like fucking 21 years old or 22 or something, right? And he was in jail during the fucking COVID shit, bro, around that time. And they forced all the inmates to get injected. They forced the jab on all the inmates in the jail he was in. Think about how many jails there are across the United States. Think about all the people in those jails and how many of those jails forced injections on inmates. It's really easy to talk shit about, that's part of the division, is the jabbed versus the unjabbed and everything. Like, there's just division everywhere. The key is to not get caught up in the division, and it's not easy. I understand that it's not easy to get caught up in the division. That's what it's always been, though. George Carlin was right, whatever it's worth, when he said that the ruling class keeps everyone divided so that they, the ruling class, can continue to run off with all the fucking money. I don't know nothing about George Carlin. I don't know him personally. I don't know. But I know he's right about that. That they keep us divided so that, the whole divide and conquer thing. And, there's all this kind of pitchfork kind of, witch hunt shit going around online about the jabbed, all the jabbed are the evil people. And dude, we don't even know how many people were force injected this shit, let alone like people who are, like elderlies. Man, I feel terrible for elderlies who, it's a lot of fear porn. And people with comorbidities and stuff are going to be more likely to get the jab. If they're elderly with comorbidities, they're in their 70s and they have comorbidities. Well, see, I don't have comorbidities and I'm not elderly, so I don't have any reason to really be concerned about the jab at all, about not taking it. It's like, nah, I ain't getting it, whatever. It's a lot easier for someone like me who's young. Well, I'm 50 years old, So even there you go. So a 30-year-old, it's way easier for them to not get pressured by the jab. They're not elderly with comorbidities, and then generational. People, the 70-year-olds are from a different generation than X generation or millennials or, X generation grew up in a society that was more trustworthy, more reliable, They don't understand that times have changed. They still watch TV. They don't even know what the fuck the internet is. Or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm not one of these people who's like, stocking up my pitchfork and rallying the fucking community to go on a witch hunt after the injected and shit. Like, I've got friends that took it, and it's none of my business. It really isn't none of my business, And I don't know how many people have been forced the jab. Do you know? We don't know. Dude, like this person, I know that they wouldn't lie to me because they don't even really know me. They don't have any reason to lie. They didn't lie. They were in jail they're not really they don't feel one way or the other about the jab stuff or anything. They just don't really feel one way or the other about it. It's just like whatever. And they're young, so it makes sense. There's a lot of things that when I was young, I didn't feel one way or the other about, where today, being 50 years old, I feel very strongly about. People change. Young people don't really have any reason to necessarily feel one way or the other about the jab and all this shit. They really don't. They have no reason to trust one side or the other. The side that says it's safe and effective and the side that says everybody's dropping like flies. They don't have any reason to believe either side. I identify a lot with them, with their mentalities. Like, fuck both of you people. Both of you groups of people are completely retarded. Young people don't want to have nothing to do with all you older generations bickering about, this and that and the other. I've had conversations with young people kind of a lot recently, like their views on politics and the jabs and everything. They're just like, fuck. They don't want to hear either side, dude. It's just the same analogy of two divorced parents bickering over nothing. Like, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares, And they have no reason to trust either side. One side saying, oh, it's safe and effective. You need to take it now. The other side saying, no, it's not safe and effective. It's a genocide. The world, everyone's dropping like flies. Like, I totally relate with the person who just wishes both would just shut the fuck up and just leave me the fuck alone. That's all I want, is just leave me alone. That's all I want. Can you do that? Can you do me a kindness and just leave me the fuck alone? So I totally relate on that aspect with younger people. They don't want to hear any of it, dude. They're so sick of it. Like anybody cares. Like the people that are claiming we're in a genocide and everybody's dropping like flies, like they actually care about anybody but themselves. No, they don't. Everybody's a bunch of self-absorbed, self-centered, ego fucking centric, fucking egotistical fucking cunts that all they care about is themselves. And so whatever they are saying about the jab one way or the other, it's all just ego. It's all based in self. It's not about informing others or anything. So go fuck you. But fuck, I don't want to hear it, dude. How about just do me a kindness and just leave me the fuck alone when it comes to all this shit? I don't care. Yeah. So I'm not one of these people who's joining with my pitchfork, joining the witch hunt to go and gather up all the jabbed and whatever, put them through the witch trial and shit. Like, it's so dumb, dude. Like, I know people that have gotten it, and I don't judge them for it, but I didn't, and I won't, and I'm not going. They would have to force that in me, man. But like I said, I'm not an elderly and I don't have comorbidities, so it's easy. Well, I'm trying to think of an analogy, Well, even cigarettes, yeah, when you're young, yeah, smoking, like, yeah, why not? I mean, take it or leave it. Who cares? Oh, they're gonna tell you you're gonna die, but I'm fucking 20 years old. Fuck you. Tell me if I smoke a few cigarettes, I'm gonna get addicted and end up dying of lung cancer. Go fuck yourself. I just want to enjoy my cigarette. Fuck off. Yeah, 20 years old, yeah. When you're fucking 60 and you've been smoking a pack a day for fucking 35, 40 years, you may think a little bit differently. You may be going for the cigarette and being like, man, I really need to fucking quit smoking, as you're lighting the cigarette, like, fuck. How much longer is this, fuck. Am I going to fucking die in my sleep? Am I going to die for, whereas at 20 years old, you're not thinking about it because you're fucking 20 years old, It's the same with the jab. If I was 75 years old and I had comorbidities and all this hysteria came out about COVID and all this shit, I'm going to be much more likely to be pressured into getting the shot, the injection. Yeah. And that's just human nature. It's just the way reality functions, Whereas if I'm fucking 25 years old, I'm not going to give a shit about the jab. You know, why would I care? Unless I'm a professional football player and the only way to keep bringing in like my $12 million a year being a professional football player, well then, you know, I mean, me personally, you know, I've always been, you know, a lowlife. I don't never cared about money. Like, fuck you and your money, you know. Eat the fucking rich. How about that? You know, I've always been that mentality, so I would never end up being on a professional football team and making $12 million a year, you know, playing sports ball, you know. So I couldn't even imagine myself in that situation. Anything's possible. See, that's the thing. So I'm not really into this, you know, wielding pitchforks and, you know, rounding up the community to witch hunt the jabbed or whatever. That's silly. It's just nonsense. It's so anyway, but yeah, no, dude, people that were in jail during that time did get mandated the jabs. Well, how come that wasn't a big story? How come that's never been a big story with any of these channels that are all about all this shit? They never talked about any of that. Why not? Well, because people in jail, don't you understand the way all this works? I mean, it's ridiculous. They mandated the jabs on fucking who knows how many hundreds of thousands of fucking jail inmates during the COVID thing. You don't see any outrage about that. Why not? There should be a ton of outrage by people who claim to be outraged about all this stuff. Haven't made a peep about that, about all these jail inmates getting mandated jabs. Nobody fucking cares. And that's just my point. Nobody fucking cares. So don't be blowing fucking smoke up my skirt unless you're going to take me out to fucking dinner, you know. Blowing smoke up my skirt about how much you care about jabs and COVID or any of this shit. Because you would care that hundreds of thousands of fucking inmates in jail and prison were forced injected this shit. I've never heard you or anybody mention anything about that in all your so-called outrage. Why aren't you outraged about that? Not only are you not outraged about it, you think we should all gather up pitchforks and go around and round up all the jabs. Like, there's just nothing but pure insanity online anymore. Like, there is no reason. Nobody's fucking has a functioning fucking brain anymore. But anyways, what's new, you know? So, but yeah, just, I don't know. I think that's an important thing that has been completely missed by all media, including the great alt new tech media, all these greats, right? They're so on top of everything, they just missed that whole thing that who knows how many hundreds of thousands of people that are in jail and prison during COVID got mandate injections of this shit. Yeah, who cares? That has nothing to do with me because I'm a self-centered, self-absorbed fucking narcissist piece of fucking garbage, you know, waste of space, you know. So why should I care about that, you know? Where's my pitchfork? We need to round them all up, you know. That's why I don't like the it's the Jays thing. All this, it's the Jays, it's the jabbed, it's always somebody, it's the Jays, it's the Jays, it's the jabbed, it's the jabbed, it's the this, it's the that. It's always some people. It's like, dude, why? You know, I just want to be left the fuck alone. Well, anyways, I'm just ranting. So maybe I'll do my other video idea. I wanted. How about this? Let me just ask my little audience. Who knows who's watching my shit? I mean, I've got a video from yesterday or the day before that's got 30 views. Like, who the fuck is watching my shit? It's fucked up, man. When I think about it, it fucking bothers me to think about who it is. But anyway, so I'll ask the audience. What I want to do is do a video about narcissism and just like show what is narcissism and then show just simple, not go into fucking a fucking deep dive into narcissism. Just like, what is narcissism? Simple, in simple terms. And then what is the opposite of narcissism in simple terms? And just go over that in a video and just kind of inject my thoughts and commentary. Is that something that you think you might want to see? I mean, I may do it anyways, but if somebody wants me to do that, it'll compel me to do it too. I think it would be interesting because I don't know if you've ever been accused of being a narcissist. Have you ever been falsely accused of stuff? And I'm not saying I'm not a narcissist. Well, that'd be part of the point of going into, not a deep dive. I know I've tried to do some deep dive shit in narcissism. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about, like, let's just go over in a simple way, in simple terms, what is narcissism? Just simplify it, We don't need to go into all the fucking, deep dive. We'll just go into a simple, what is simply, in simple terms, what is narcissism? And you can be like, okay, that's what narcissism is. Okay, well, then what would be the opposite of that? And, and I can try to apply it to myself as honestly as possible. But, so again, I'm not saying I'm not a narcissist. I'm just saying, like, have you ever been accused of something that you're not, like that you're an agent that works for the feds? I mean, whenever somebody has accused me of that, I've always kind of gotten flattered. Like, you really think that I'm capable of pulling that off? Like, that I'm doing all this, like this video right now. All this is I'm just a fed. Like, you really think that I'm that? I mean, that would be pretty impressive to me, because I watch my videos, and I would say, if somebody, because I watch my video, right? So if I saw if I was someone else and I watched this video of myself, I would never think that person is a fed. And if I ever found out that person was, I'd be like, well, damn, that motherfucker, he's pretty good. He's pretty good, because I'd have never thought that he's a fucking fed. Anyways, have you ever been accused of being something where you're like, what? No, I'm not. No, I'm not a fed, like, or a CIA, or a secret agent, or a 77th Brigade, or no. Why would you even think? I mean, I'm flattered that you would think that, but no, that's just. Sorry, I'm not that special, and apparently neither are you, But it sucks to be accused of something that, by all accounts, you're not. It's like, what? Why would you say that I'm that? That's the furthest thing from what I am, Why would you even think that? That's like so far from. How could you think, have you ever been accused of something that you're not? Well, have you ever been accused of being a narcissist? Well, it's interesting when you look at it through that lens, and then you look at what is narcissism. What am I being accused of being, right? And then compare that with, like, well, okay, if this is what narcissism is like self-centered, selfishness, self-absorbed. Well, what's the opposite of these things? What's the opposite of self-absorbed? And then it'll list all these things. And then when you look at, I think it's interesting. Anyways, I don't know if you guys would like to see, any of you that are actual participants would like to see me do a video where I just pull up. Basically what I would do is ask the Brave search engine, what is narcissism? And then the Brave search engine's artificial intelligence will give me a synopsis. It's just like a few paragraphs. That's it. It's not going to be some deep dive. It's just going to be like, well, here are the key points to what, a narcissist. It's like, okay, well, so a narcissist are these things. Well, what is the opposite of these things then? Because I just kind of did a little experiment on it, and I was like, dude, I am way more not a narcissist than I am a narcissist. Like, and then even narcissism itself, like, I just think narcissism is a really crazy thing, subject. And you see that insult being thrown around. Oh, so-and-so's a narcissist. That person's a narcissist. And, like, really? You know, that's like saying that you're retarded or that you're, yeah, really, like you're just clinically retarded. That'd be like somebody calling you clinically retarded. Well, what if you had an IQ of like 135 or something? And you're like, what? Why would you think I'm clinically retarded? You know, I actually have a fucking IQ 130 or 85 IQ or something. I don't know what constitutes a high IQ or not. I honestly, I don't give a shit, to be honest with you, but that would be like if you had a 250 IQ and somebody was telling you that you're clinically retarded. And you're like, well, on the contrary, Mo Frere, you know, that'd be, or like you being a mathematical genius and somebody telling you that, you know, you don't understand mathematics at all. And the person that's saying that is like has never gone past pre-algebra or algebra 1, you know. They flunked out of math and fucking you know, I don't know, it's just crazy, bro. Like, but yeah, if you guys think that would be a fun video to just like look into narcissists, let me know. Anyways, whatever.